So we just continue broaden. Sorry for the lint on my t-shirt and the fact that I may look a little bit like I have white patches. I had an allergic reaction to a serum and I'm just trying to bring that rash down as much as possible. So if you do notice any kind of like bumpiness or whiteness on my face, it's either the cream you're seeing or the rash. I just killed a slug, but I didn't kill it. I poured salt in it, so it's just kind of drying out. I dried out a slug, basically. Technically that's what it is, because it was up there and I was like, I need to record this, but I didn't want it to fall on me, so I thought, let me put this, pour salt on it so it can fall on the floor, and then pour salt on it again. And it's like, I don't know, I know it's not going to move because it's surrounded by salt and it's just slowly drying out, and that's a bit like, sounds kind of cruel, but I don't like slugs, and there's a whole backstory to why, but we're not going to go into it in this video because that's not the reason why we're doing this video. So I'm a bit jittery. That's why. Anyways, so I thought I would come on here and show you how I do these yarn braids, because I said I was going to do that next time. I'm just going to give a more detailed version of what I do. So I left this little cute guy over here to show you what I do. This time around I decided not to do a bob and just to do a normal, like all the same length. Although doing it, I've kind of realized how much I actually love that bob and I'm going to miss the bob, but it's not always practical for me to have that bob, so this is the look we're going to go for the next 2 months. Yeah, I said I was going to measure my hair. Didn't get the chance to do that because I completely forgot. I always come back to this whole, but just know if there's something that I'm supposed to do that I've not done, if I've not uploaded, or whatever it may be that I said I was going to do that I've not done, that's usually because something's going on and I'm just trying to learning how to balance basically. So yeah, anyway, enough of the chit chat. Let me just quickly show you the lengths that I did last time. So obviously, because it was above, there was 2 lengths. So this is the shorter side of my bob. I can't remember which side I did for which. I think the short side was this side, and then this is the much longer side, as you can see. But let me go a bit further back. I should probably be in the middle, but I don't want to be anywhere near that slug. Always trying to know how to, yeah, shorter side, longer side, and that's basically how I try to like gradually go up, but I think it ended up just being like a slight difference in terms of what the varying middle lengths of these were for like between this side and this side, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's what that looks like. So in my previous video I was trying to explain how I do the yarn braids, and if you guys have ever seen other videos on YouTube about how they do the yarn braids, they usually have use a doorknob or door handle or something like that to help them with the loops. This is the yarn. This is the this time around I only used, I think it's about 2. No, I think I used more this time around than I did last time. So it was 2 full ones, and then this one here, which is nearly done, but I don't need any more because I just have already prepared the one I'm going to do for this one. Yeah, oh my god, I feel so disheveled. Is that how I pronounce the word? I don't know. It's all well and good using the door handle, but I find that very tedious, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like I get varying lengths when I do it with the door handle. So I thought this way actually works out well for me, because the length that I get is the length that I want, which is around shoulder length, actually a bit past shoulder length. I know I'll do an ending like footage of what it looks like once I've finished everything and it's laid down flat. But I find that doing it this way, where I wrap it around my arm, just gives me the right length that I need, and usually all around the same length, more or better than if I was to use a door handle to do it, for example. Okay, so what I do is I get the loose end, I put it through my thumb and pointer finger, and let me just make sure. Okay, just wrap it, oops, wrap it around like that, trap the end with the thread, yeah, and then I just keep wrapping as much as I can take before it starts to become tight and uncomfortable, and I get something like that with obviously thicker amounts of thread. So I pull it from underneath, I look for where the end is. Usually it's a bit harder when there's more yarn on here, but I look for where the end is. If I can't find it, I just cut it somewhere, and obviously it's going to be fine anyway. So here, and then I'll just kind of slip it here, and then I have this loop and then these ends free, and what it will end up looking like is this little beauty. This is what it ends up looking like. Yeah, that's English, isn't it? I don't know, it's too late for this. Anyways, so yeah, this is it, and I'm just gonna kind of show you what I do to get the look that I get. I'm trying to stay in the middle, but this look is like there on the floor. I just don't wanna smush it. Anyways, so what I do is obviously I pre-do everything. Now in the previous video I showed where I crocheted some of these into loops, just to obviously to make it shorter, so that when I am doing the shorter lengths, which this one, it doesn't get to the point where I'm going to cut it and then I accidentally cut my hair. I've done that with normal crochet braids, and that was not fun. That was not fun at all. So yeah, but obviously I'm doing it all the same length, and it's not short length or not too short of a length, so I don't really mind leaving it down and not worrying about crocheting it. The only issue, although it was a great idea, and it wasn't obviously my idea, it was an idea that I got from somebody else when I was watching them how to do yarn braids with do a bob style yarn braid in bob version, I don't know. That's what she did, so I was like, oh my days, that's a really good idea, so that's what I did. But then the only issue with that was that it's the looped end, when it came to obviously going past it, sometimes it would stick out, and it would just be very frustrating to try and ensure that it was covered and protected from the elements. And yeah, that was basically that, but it worked out in the end. It worked and it was fine. Alright, so once I have and I do this for all of the sections, I will section everything out first, and I braided, like you can see for this one, I braided like this much, and then I twisted the rest, just because braiding just helps the root itself to be a bit more snug and not loose, rather than, you know, twisting the whole thing from the root to the end. That tends to loosen up a bit more, if that makes sense. But obviously this is growth that has happened, so that's why it's not looking as snug as it probably would do if I was doing this for the first time. But everything else is just because I've, you know, done when it's to be done. So I've already added oil to my hair, and I know this may be a bit counterintuitive to put cream on top of the oil, especially because I have said in one of my videos that oil is a sealant, and putting anything on top of it doesn't make any sense. But oil also does, certain oils do get absorbed into the hair, and the oils that I did use are some of them, because I have a mixture of oils in the bottle. So I'm gonna put a little bit as well. It's not gonna be a lot. So once that is absorbed, this will be absorbed too, and it's just gonna be all nice and hurrah hooray, and we'll be fine, she says. And then she probably looks a month later, 6 months later down the line, looking at this video, wondering why on earth I did it this way when I knew I shouldn't have done it this way, or I thought I shouldn't have done it this way. I don't know. Anyways, so I mean, for the other ones I did do cream and oil. This one is just because I wanted to be quick about it, because I just wanted to get it over and done with, and go and finish all the other things I needed to do. Alright, so in the other video I did say that I use this as the third strand starting off. That's just because one of the videos I watched said that it allows it to lie down flatter. I've not tried yarn braids where I don't use this as the third one, so I'll have to try it and let you know how it works. I keep looking at where I am on the screen, not actually at you guys. Apologies for that. I'm trying to make sure that I'm still in frame and everything is still recording, and what else? Keep one eye on that little slug. I feel like it's turned over on its back. Do slugs do that? Like, do they lie on their backs when they're drying out? I don't understand. What, or is it because they breathe from, I don't know. So what I do, I'll just come a bit closer. Get the in between my fingers like that. I just get as close as possible. And then I just basically start braiding. I don't know how to tell you guys how to braid, so yeah, sorry guys, I'll tell you how to braid. I need to do this in a way where I'll be able to pack it up in a ponytail if needs be, and not worry about it. Okay, so I braid a little bit. This is probably not the best of my braidings because I'm trying to see how I can make sure that I'm not too tight on it, so I can. So and then I take a couple of the strands from the other one. I used to count. I counted it last time when I was doing my bob style one, but this time around I've just been guessing it because effort. And then I take some from the other one as well. Probably a bit more. Just so that it becomes equal. If you want it to be equal, then count it. But I couldn't care less at this point in time. And then I just keep on braiding. I mean, trying to cover your hair within the actual yarn braid itself, so that it's not sticking out. But you know, I got very lazy very quickly and wishing I could do multiple things at once whilst doing my hair. So I just didn't really have the energy or the will to want to do that. This one, because obviously I am showing it to you guys. Okay, maybe it's still kind of showing, but not as bad as some of the other ones. I really like this color, gunmetal. I don't know. I just like the fact that it has like wisps of silver in it. I'm definitely going to do this hairstyle again, but adding different colored yarn to it and seeing how that turns out. We'll see. We'll see. I actually wanted to start off with like a green color or something like that, but I thought since I'm doing, when I was in the bobs style version, I thought since I'm doing it for the first time, maybe I should start safe and just get to know the style first before I start going crazy with colors, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't go all the way down to the end because I'm going to tie it off, one, and two, the end isn't exactly the most even for me to be able to go down. It's not, I'm not twisting it in any way, shape or form. And so I look for the longest one of all the strands, and this one is the winner for this particular one. And what I usually do is I'll tie it around a couple of times, but because this for this particular style anyway, the strands aren't long enough, so I can't wrap it around before I knot it. So I mean, I like to pull on it a little bit just to kind of extend it a bit, but I just do a simple knot. I think I went too high. And what you can do is, but I can't do it with this one, is to do a double knot with it, which I cannot do. and it just kind of makes it a little bit better and more secure. But I think what I'm gonna end up doing is going back over all of them and just doing it, tying, getting a spare piece of strand and then tying it if I can be bothered. Otherwise, if not, I'll just wait for them to see if any of them unravel and then just retie like I did last time. But yeah, so I just do that, and then I trim the ends, trim the sides, and make it look nice. But I don't have my scissors here, so I can't really do that. I'm trying to itch my face because of this rash. But yeah, that's how it works. The thing that I have noticed with yarn braids is that they tend to stick out quite profusely. Okay, it's not really sticking out now because I've kind of tamed it a little bit, but ooh, don't know if I'm gonna like the style after all. Maybe I should have gone back to bob. Should have done the bob. But yeah, before it was just literally like that basically. But I know that over time, the more that I kind of put it in a bubble, the more that I put a scarf over my head, the more that I style it, and the more that it loosens up, the more that my hair grows as well, the more it will just kind of naturally lie better, or lay better rather. But currently that's just not the case. Oh, and that hurts because it's tight, man. I did some of these way too tight. You see how crazy that looks? Okay. Oh man. And I tried softening the areas that I did too tight with cream, with water-based cream, because, you know, just to kind of loosen it up a bit. But I may end up having to use like hair grease or something if necessary, if I feel like I need to, if it starts to, like, you know, form bumps around those tighter areas. But we will see. So that's basically what the style looks like. One thing I do love about this hairstyle is that it doesn't fray or become or look like it's an old style easily, like impressions or any other type of extensions, like, because obviously it's yarn, it's not actual synthetic hair, so it doesn't fray like that. I mean, obviously with synthetic hair, to keep it lasting longer, you use things like foam and all of that stuff, but I don't have to worry about doing that. I've not tried it. I don't want to try, not particularly with this style right now. Maybe when I do it again, I'll see if it makes any difference adding foam, but it's basically just braiding fabric into your head, so yeah. We'll see how it goes. One thing I did have one thing I did notice when I was doing the style before was that my scalp was very dry, especially for the first few days of wearing it, and I just think that's because the yarn itself was absorbing a lot of that moisture, a lot of that oil as well. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. That is everything. Hopefully I post this with an audio this time. Apologies for the yarn braids that I did last time, which I thought I was exporting the video with audio, but for some reason the audio wasn't there, and I think that's just because I was editing a smaller clip from that large clip and I removed the audio because I didn't need the audio. I forgot to add the audio back in. So it was just when I was editing that the audio just kind of was muted. So thank you for the person in the comments, I can't remember her name, who pointed it out to me, because I would not have noticed it. Don't ask me how that slipped by me, it just did. Okay, it was late and I just wanted to make sure I got it out because I wanted to be consistent, but obviously it didn't work. So yeah, thank you if you said in the comments that there was no audio in that video. Otherwise I would not have seen it anytime soon. I'd probably come back to when I needed like a snippet for TikTok or something, and then realize, oh my days, this doesn't even have audio. But it's fine, it's cool. We will learn from it. We will learn to double check before we post, basically. Yes. Thank you guys for rocking with me this far, for the for your contributions, for your support, and just kind of for, you know, watching my videos, because it can be a bit daunting sometimes, especially for somebody like me who is very introverted. But yeah, thank you guys. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now, loves.